Hi families. The action plan that we're implementing for a return to in-person instruction this fall was developed by through guidance from the Minnesota Catholic Conference and other organizations, and it's separated into 4 sections. This first section addresses operational practices, and I want to summarize. Again, it's just a summary of some of the highlights within this section of our plan. I would encourage you to refer to and review the full plans on that's been emailed out and available on our website for more details. A few of the things I want to share with you specifically. Communication and training is going to be very important in implementing these plans with integrity. And that means for staff, for families, and for students. And so you'll get a lot of information in the coming weeks. Your kids will be doing a lot of practicing of different procedural practices, and our staff has been well invested into developing these plans. So we will assure that everybody involved is appropriately aware of what their responsibilities are and how to execute those responsibilities. Other things within operational practices that are important for you to hear is the way that our entrance and dismissal procedures will look. The reality is with these 2 processes, we need to try to avoid congregated school exits as much as we possibly can and get kids from outside to inside in an efficient way. And so we will be assigning households a drop-off location. So for example, families that are with a primary household last name between A and H, you will drop off your child or children at the main entrance of the school. There will be an individual staff member out there greeting your family and getting the children into the school building, into their classroom. Families with last names between J and O will drop their children off at door number 2, often referred to as the flagpole door. Again, there will be a staff member out there to greet your child, get them out of the car, and into the building. And those with a last name between P and Z will drop off at door number 3, again referred to as the recess door, and this same process will occur there. We are unsure if transportation will be available, and if it is, what it will look like. I don't know when the time frame will have those answers. In the event that busing is available for families, those students that ride the bus to school will be dropped off at in the church parking lot and enter the school through the emergency exit of the gym. And there will be a staff member there to greet those kids as well. One of the challenges with this is assuring that our school foyer and building does not have a congregated group of people. So morning gym will not be available. Kids will go directly to their classrooms. In addition, the school office will not be open for parents or guests to come in between 7:20 and 8:10 a.m. and then again at the dismissal time of 2:20 to 3 o'clock p.m. Our intention is surely not to have a closed office mentality, but we recognize that the school office is a place of congregation. In addition, the reality is we also need all of our staff to be accessible at different locations throughout the building. So the school office will be closed during arrival and dismissal. For dismissal procedures, teachers will dismiss their students by classroom, and each individual teacher will take their students to the appropriate drop-off place. Buses will pick up on the west side of the building, and families that are picking up their children will do so from the gathering place parking lot. Specific instructions on parking, entrance, and exiting will be provided in the parking lot. Another part of our operational practices that I want parents to be aware of is that we're going to do our due diligence to assure that people entering our building are healthy, and that means some health screenings will occur. All of our staff are expected to do their best to assure they're healthy before entering the building, and that's true for parents and students as well. We are partnering with a technology company called Kinsa, K-I-N-S-A, and we will provide as a school each household with a thermometer that will connect to a Bluetooth app. and this app will allow each family to take their child or children's temperature and answer a few screening questions. And if that child or the children are deemed to be healthy and given the green light, we look forward to welcoming them at the drop-off line. In the event their child's got a fever or isn't feeling well, we feel that it's best that that child is in the home when they learn of that fever, and parents don't have to come back to the school to pick up their child. That's why we are opting to have the technology to have families do health screenings at home, if at all possible. We understand that life happens, and we also understand that the availability of technology or the use of technology doesn't always work. So there will be an option here at school for kids to go through a quick health screening when they arrive if they were not able to do one at home. Due to the volume of students and the time the screenings take, we really encourage families to utilize the KINSA app as much and as frequently as possible. When it comes down to it, our ultimate goal is that we are reducing the opportunity for transmission of any illness, specifically COVID right now. And so families or individuals that are exhibiting symptoms related to COVID will not be allowed to enter our facility. Other things within the operational practices that I wanted to address with you revolve around distancing. And we've heard and have been educated well that the 6-foot distance is the most safe to stay away from the opportunity of transmission. 6 feet is not realistic in a classroom setting, and we know that. We're going to organize classrooms in ways that discourage physical contact or close contact to the extent possible. But what we're really also going to do is prioritize the grouping or cohorts of students. And a cohort of students will be a small segment of students, and our goal with that is we don't want that cohort to interact with other cohorts. In the event, God forbid, but in the event that we have a transmission of COVID in our building, we would like to isolate the number of people that could or may have come into contact with an individual that may have been infected with the virus. And so that's why the cohort separation is a priority at St. Joe's. For more details on those cohorts, I would encourage you to review the full plan that's on our website and within the emails that have been sent out. You will find a lot of different communication and signage around the building, and this is in an effort to not overwhelm, but really to encourage best practices for our staff and for our students. So in conclusion, with operational practices and with every section, one of the most important things that we can do is to maintain the Catholic identity of our school. And as we're developing these action plans, I kept thinking back to the Catholic social teachings and how this very challenging time is really an opportunity for a teachable moment for not only our staff and our students, but our community as a whole. And when we think about operational practices, I really encourage staff to think about the Catholic social teaching of life and dignity. The actions we're taking in the school day, how are they promoting life and dignity? How can we always come back to that to really continue to build a strong faith foundation for our students?